Music, and I'm back. It has been a really, really crazy year for music. I don't know. Every time the year starts, you think to yourself, are people gonna drop? Is someone afraid to drop something? Because I don't know. It's still the beginning of the year. We just had a song of the year come out, so there's still that hype, and no one is really listening. But from Mass Country that we got this year to where we are now, which is insane if you ask me about it. I mean, Aries finally dropped, what do you call it? Paradise 2. Nasty C dropped his I Love It Here album, and so many drops. I mean, Kabza dropped so many albums this year. Uh, Zonke dropped an album that was really beautiful. So there's nothing short of what you want to listen to, especially on a local scale. But there's just been so much music. I don't know what to tell you to listen to or what I listened to and what I thought of it. So I just thought maybe I'll just give you an overview of like things that just dropped this Friday, which is insane. Uh Shane Eagle came back with his fifth album. Can you believe that he's been since the hustle? I think that was the competition that he was in where they picked the next big thing in SA, and he's one of the few contestants that have remained consistent. And yeah, his album is called Akira. Shane Eagle, 14 tracks, 45 minutes, just in the alley of what I like an LP to be. So yeah, he comes off as an anime character and continues to build from where he started. I mean, he has a reputation of dropping like really long albums recently, but yeah, I mean, people say that he hasn't been able to replicate what he did with Yellow, suffering from, I don't know, the first drop syndrome. I don't know, but I'm still going to continue to listen to Akira. I'm liking it so far. It sounds like he's making music for himself, like he's just having fun with it. Doesn't that pressure of remaining consistent because you were a runner up at that show has disappeared, because the person that won that show is not really on the radar, but you don't really have to be on the radar to be making waves. So I've learned. The next EP that was dropped is Musa Keys. As we know, he's like one of the biggest piano acts to come out of SA. From his Samaritan Keys track that initially dropped to the superstar that he is now. I mean, the biggest song, arguably, of his career is Unavailable featuring Davido, or Davido featuring Musa Keys, that has solidified him as one of the best producers to come out of SA. And I see now he's diversifying into even being a vocalist more often, because I know he is a vocalist. And yeah, the EP, the EP is called Becoming Him. I think it's either 5 or 7 tracks in there. So if you are in the mood to listen to something new, that's what's up. Chris Brown has dropped yet another long album. He's calling it 1111. I don't know what it is with artists and numbers. Jay-Z had 444. Tinashe had 333. Yeah, I know there's a thing going on between Chris Brown and Tinashe where they're beefing. But sticking to the numbers, I honestly feel like if you want to listen to an 1111 album, you should probably listen to Rolene's album. And yes, I'm going out on a limb because they don't make the same music. They're not, one is bigger than the other, like impact and whatnot. But I mean, if you want to listen to a good album and you don't care about numbers and all those things, Rolene's 1111 is one of my favorite albums ever, and it's not talked about enough. But yeah, go listen to Chris Brown's 1111. There's this primary school vocalist that sang a song, and Chris Brown took a liking to it and sampled the song, and it's in a track called Shooter in his 22 track LP that is just north of an hour. So you guys should go listen to that. Chris Brown 1111. And one of the most anticipated drops since it was announced is the collaboration album between Rick Ross and Meek Mill. And I can't tell you when, like, the origin of collaboration albums, but I can tell you that What a Time to Be Alive is one of the albums that first come to mind when two artists come together and try to make a solid album. I mean, people can argue that Lil Wayne and 2 Chainz on Collar Groove is also something to speak about. Drake, 21 Savage, Drake and Future, as I mentioned, Metro Boomin, and I guess a couple of artists that doesn't really qualify as a collab. And the other sleeper collab that you guys should listen to is Ginger Trail featuring Touchline. I'm gonna put the link because for some stupid reason I forgot the name. I think it's Boys in the Hood. Yeah, it's Boys in the Hood. Boys in the Hood or Boys and Hood. I don't know, but I'm gonna put it there. It was surprisingly good. The bars and the punchlines and the wordplay. This is what I speak about every time I say when people are on the come up, you can like hear it in how they're rapping. Like there's just a different type of hunger there, and usually it's difficult or impossible to replicate. It's the same as a fighter where once you start making the money, you don't really care about your craft anymore. I mean, Conor McGregor can be argued that he's not the same fighter anymore. Uh, a unique example is Floyd Mayweather. Even when he reached the pinnacle of his success, he still remained himself because he knew that, uh, I'm gonna dedicate my life to this sport, and this is what I want to get out of the sport. So, yeah, back to the collab. Too Good to Be True. 17 songs. It's clocks in exactly at 59 minutes. There's a guest verse by Damian Lillard for the basketball fans, and under his rap name Dame Dollar, which was so good. Yeah, it was really good. Shaquille O'Neal also comes in the Shaq and Kobe remix, which was pretty good. I enjoyed it. But yeah, Shaq and Kobe, I mean Meek Mill and Rick Ross, I don't expect them to miss. So far, what I've listened to is pretty good. I mean, Shaq and Kobe is the highlight of that album for me. But yeah, go check it out. I'm gonna leave the link again. A surprising drop for me was Big Nas. As we know, the two main artists that form Big Nas have passed away, and there's one that's left. I believe Mampincha and Arma Shesha are the ones that passed away, and then the last member of Big Nas, I'm really sorry, I'm forgetting the name, but he's the last man standing, and he decided to name the EP that. And I don't know, like people are, I don't know, there's a weird thing going way about how, why would you name it that? And I kind of agree because it's, I mean, nobody chooses to pass away, and you saying that you're the last man standing. I mean, I get where he's coming from, but you know how, I don't know, people are always gonna poke at something, and I understand why it's being poked at, but also, I mean, it's just an EP, and he's not lying. He's the last remaining member of Big Nas, but I think you could have picked a better name to an EP. But those are just drops from last Friday, and December's coming. People still wanna put out music. So if you have, I don't know, a few hours, a few minutes in a day, these are the albums that you should, excuse me, probably listen to. You guys have a great week. Cheers.